Alright guys, welcome to a new video on the channel, and as you can see here we have the FIENDSMITH PRIMITE K9 build deck, whatever you want to call it here, from the video that I did a couple while ago. You can check it down in the comment below. It was a video that showed a crazy combo that you can do when you start with the FIENDSMITH card, when you start with Lordy Load, and yeah, I could really recommend checking out the combo because it's crazy, and I think it has some merit in the next format. Which is post-blading Dominion, so definitely check that out. But I want to talk about this deck really quick, and I don't want to drag this video too long because I just want it to be solely a deck profile. I'm going to show some combos and some, not combos, but some something you can do with this. But let's start with the FIENDSMITH cards. So we have played 3 Engraver, we played 2 Lacrima, because we have quite a bunch of normal summons here, and when you play a deck of 40 cards, you rather want to have 5 normal summons. So my 5 normal summons of choice here are 3 PRIMITE Dragon Ether Barrel and 2 Lacrima. However, you can also see the Fabled Larry and Dippity, which is a light fiend normal monster that you summon via the PRIMITE engine. So you see this and you know that it's 7 normal summons technically, but we only really want to normal summon the 5 monsters that I mentioned. And then we played 3 Tracked, and for the FIENDSMITH Bricks we play the one of Paradise, which has always been played, but a new addition is FIENDSMITH Kyrie. The reason why we play Kyrie is because it just plays through more, and also in FIENDSMITH Heavy builds, which is this, because we played the 3 Tracked, and we also play another engine that gets us to FIENDSMITH. So that just means that if you dump Kyrie with Lacrima, you can do crazy combos, and also Kyrie can OTK going second very easily. I also made like a huge FIENDSMITH guide, or like not a guide, but you know, just showcasing some FIENDSMITH combos that you do if you start Engraver. So if you're interested in that video, I also have a link down below. I'm gonna do an update on this video in the near future, definitely pre-nationals, because I think FIENDSMITH will be very strong in the national season. But let's get continuing with this deck building, with this deck here. We also played the K9 package. The reason why I included it is, as you can see, the deck name is YCS Dortmund #1. This was the first deck that I considered for YCS Dortmund, and honestly, looking back, I would have loved to play this deck. I didn't, because I thought I made a really good meta call with the other deck that I played, but the format was way too wide. So this would have been a better choice, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't go through with it because I really believed in this deck. But yeah, the reason why we play Ethernet because of Draco Tail, because we can also go into Ripper and into Valon, and then make Zeus, and this is like clearing the whole board of Draco Tail essentially with the Izuna alone. Then you have 4 other cards in your hand, or like 5 depending on if you use the hand trap or not. So that is really strong. And then for the PRIMITE engine, we play 3 Ether Barrels, 3 Lordly Load, 1 PRIMITE War, 1 Draw Beam, and 1 Dippity. So War becomes very important because in FIENDSMITH build, there's always the question, how do you get to FIENDSMITH, and how many FIENDSMITH 1-card combos do you have? And here we have 9 FIENDSMITH normal 1-card combos, basically 10 because of Dippity also being a normal summon, which is Light Fiend. But what the PRIMITE engine allows you to do is having, on top of these 10 FIENDSMITH 1-card combos, which is not that much, in a modern deck you want to have like 14 to 17 1-card combos, and this has 17 1-card combos, because PRIMITE Dragon Ether Barrel as Lordly Load as well is full combo, because it gets you PRIMITE War. Now, PRIMITE War, if you don't know that card, read the following. Pay 2000 light points, then declare 1 normal monster card name, which is Dippity here. And the declared more monsters, this is not important, but the most important thing is then this here. If you control no monsters, you can special summon 1 declared monster from your deck in defense position, which means you just go Lordly Load, search Roar, and then War, special Dippity. The really cool thing here is that FIENDSMITH played into Fuvalos, which we don't really want, and PRIMITE War read, you can special here. You can special, meaning you can just declare the Dippity, and if they Fuva or Ash, you're gonna be like, sure, I didn't even want to do that anyway because I have like normal and Lacrima, I just want to bait you, you know? So you can do that, and yeah. Now you may be wondering, yeah, Lordly Load might be a full FIENDSMITH combo because War doesn't need monsters, but what do you do with Ether Barrel? Well, I am going to go into the Zola mode and show you really quick. I'm gonna disable the sound here. So we draw the either barrel even. So we normal summon the either barrel, and we set the PRIMITE lordly load, and then we activate the lordly load, which searches as the PRIMITE war. And now look at the effect of either barrel. He has another effect. If you contribute this card, very important for cost. You see a semicolon? That means cost. And then send one more different deck to the graveyard. That doesn't matter. And the good part here is I didn't talk a lot about the hand trap yet, but we also play the Playframe driver and the Gamma for a very specific reason. First of all, Gamma is really, really, really broken in this deck. I'm gonna show you why after I finish talking about the deck. But also driver is really, really broken because of PRIMITE War. PRIMITE War had the second effect. If your opponent normal summons a monster, you can bench the card from your graveyard, target a non-monster you control or in your graveyard, bench one monster and fear with last attack into the monster. So you will be targeting the Playframe driver, and I can tell you no monster has more than 2500 attack. So any normal summon that they do, it gets banished, which gets really, really broken next format when they need the normal summon to Synchro or Link, which is really, really strong. However, you use the effect of either barrel, and then you chain PRIMITE War, and then special summon Divinity. Because right now we could only send Divinity, but now you would special summon Divinity from the deck, and then either barrel fizzles, how I would call it, because it doesn't have a legal target anymore. So that's how you always do the combo with the barrel too, and then obviously there's a full Fiendsmith combo. I don't have to explain you that. And yeah, now let's talk about the hand traps a little bit. This was the format for YC at Dortmund, which means I believe that Dragotail and Malice would be the strongest decks. So, and obviously Radiant Typhoon. But against Radiant Typhoon, the deck does not really struggle a lot because you have Imperm, you have Ash, you have Purge, you have Bell, you have Gamma, you have a very strong engine. And well, if they set up, then it's really, really hard for you. But if they cannot, then well, the only issue is that the Lordly Load doesn't really well stand any chance against Mystical Space Typhoon, which is a card from 2002, but doesn't matter. Against the other decks, I was like prepared a little bit better, and I think I nailed it really hard with the deck because Fuva, Ash, Imperm, Purge, Bell, and Gamma are really, really good against both decks, like Dragotail and Manos. So yeah, I would have loved to take the deck Dortmund, but I didn't. I think the non-engine is something that you will change how depending on how the format goes. Sometimes you maybe want more breakers, maybe you want a droplet here and there, but in general, I would say that this kind of build is still fine and viable because, I mean, Imperm Purge is just really, really strong. You always play Ash because of Fuva. You always play Fuva because Fuva's broken. And then Driver and Gamma are really, really broken in the deck. And well, then you only have 2 more slots, you know. You can maybe dump the K9 engine if it's not good in the format currently. But you can also get 3 extra deck slots that way, or 2. But I will include Zeus into the K9 package because otherwise you don't really make Zeus. But yeah. However, I want to talk about Gamma really quick. Why is Gamma broken in this deck? Well, let me show you. Maybe we draw Gamma. We Driver again, of course. The Driver really, really loves me here. Let me get these cards that we want to have here, and then this card, and do we want anything else? The War, maybe. So, let me get rid of the Lupus, the Drill Beam, the Barrel can stay, and then this can also go. So, let's say we have these kind of cards. Okay, the Barrel cannot stay, like, because it's a monster, right? So let's say we have these kind of cards in our hand. Maybe we get it like Cremantable. So for example, you activate the Lordly Load, and they ash it, and it's your only play. Gamma. Fuck it, just Gamma. Now you may be wondering what target does Gamma have. Well, you can make IP with it. That's what I did usually, because IP, SP, and then SP in the grind game is just really, really good. Because all of these engines are also grindy. Like Fiendman is very grindy. The Lupus always come back, and then the Either Barrel, the PRIMITE engine also. So SP is really, really good here. You could also make Omega or play Omega here for hand looping, which is really good because the opponent uses like Ash, you go Gamma, you hand loop for 1 more, and then it's really hard for the opponent to push through like your initial play, because well, you hand loop them before you continue with the play, right? So if they don't want their hand to get looped, well then, you know. And also, if you hand loop them and you see engine, you can also properly build your board again, because you do have a lot of options here. Because we play Rex Tremenda, we have like so many options that we can do in like how we want to build our board. We can make Deathery and Caesar, we can make Caesar with Paradise and Graveyard, we can make Rex Tremenda with Paradise on field, we can make Deathery with like with the IP. We can do a lot of things like the things you can do here are very versatile, and if you want to see like these combo, then check out the other video that I did with the Fiendsmith combo guide. It's not really a combo guide, but because I only start with Engraver all the time, but you know, yeah, but you can use Gamma in other cases too. For example, you use the effective Engraver to grab a tract, and then they draw you, and you cannot activate tract on the draw, obviously, so you just go Gamma. But if you also go tract for Larry, and then you and then Fiendsmith is your only play, then, well, they go Ghost Spell the Larry or something, well, Gamma. Or if the Larry is on the field, okay, so good people will not Hoover here. Bad people will Hoover here. But good people will wait, I will not declare this. Good people would wait until you go Requiem and then activate it to get a guaranteed draw, but also to negate the Requiem in case you start with Track. So for example, if this is your setup, then they really want to Ash the Requiem or Hoover here. And this is obviously where you can Gamma again. So Gamma is just like really, really good in this deck because you have so many options when to use Gamma, right? You can also use the Gamma on the either barrel. For example, you go either barrel for Lottie Load and then Lottie Load for Roar, and then it's essentially just more way to Gamma, right? So this is really, really good. For example, if you go Izuna, they impulse, you just, you know, you cannot Gamma, but what did I want to say? Oh yeah, no, I want to say about the DD Crow. So you go Izuna, and then you go Lupus, but then you cannot Gamma, so I don't know why I did that. Anyways, I think the hand traps are very dependent on how you want to play it, depending on the format. But something very important is to be noted here, and that is Dominance Purge. I want to talk about Purge really quick in the deck because when you play Imperm, Impulse or Purge, then sometimes you have this problem that Purge is, it's good, but it sometimes conflicts with some of your engines, or one engine maybe, or a couple of cards, and Impulse is the same, right? So for example, if you play the Horus engine, you can play Impulse, but you cannot activate Harpy on the field. Now, is that important? No, but it comes up, you know? And what I really, really like about this specific build, about this deck, is that you can activate Purge extremely freely. You don't care because the Fiendsmith card all light. The K9 card all Earth. And guess what? The PRIMITE card all Earth. So, yeah. And about the hand traps, you play like six trap hand traps. And Fuva you activate anyway, but you can also activate under Purge, doesn't matter. Bell you can activate after. Gamma is light, so you don't care. The only issue is Ash. So even like in these scenarios where you draw Ash and Purge together, you should Ash first. Obviously, you're not stupid. But there are scenarios where it happens that you activate Purge, like you activate Fuva, you have Purge and Fuva, you activate Fuva because they go 5 mana. And then they you draw a random card, doesn't matter which one, and then you Purge the Kitu, and then they go another fusion, I don't know, don't ask me, and then you draw Ash, and then they set their traps, and then you go Tract, and they go Flame, and you're looking at the Ash, and you're like, kinda useless now, aren't you? And that's fine, you know, it just happens. It's not part of your engine, that's more important. And so using Purge here felt really, really good because the scenarios where you cannot use Ash because of Purge, they are extremely rare. So it doesn't matter. Now, for side decking, I know that the side deck is not fleshed out because I got rid of this idea and played another thing at YC Dortmund, so I didn't like look into the side deck all that much. But essentially, what you should do when you side, obviously side out Fuva. And what I did, I side out the K9 engine most of the time because it depends on which deck you're playing against, right? Like if the enemy deck plays a lot of hand trap, or if they have like inbuilt hand trap plus other hand trap, like Draco Tail, for example, then you kind of want to keep the K9 engine in. But if it's something else, then you like an engine heavy build like Branded, for example, then the Easements are not going to do much. And what I really like to do is I like to side in Nibiru, the Primer Beam, because guess what? You can use Nibiru together with Persia as well, so you don't even have to set your Persias, which is really, really nice. So yeah, I side in Nibiru and some going first card, depending on, you know, which matchup. Like sometimes Call By is really, really good, sometimes Talent is needed. So Call By I always side in because of Hoover, but you know. And yeah, that kind of concludes how I would like to play that deck. I think the extra deck is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think anything is cuttable right now. You could get rid of the IP Masquerena, you could get rid of the Ballon, play a little bit of other options, but I don't think you need it. Like, I think the extra deck is really, really good, and yeah, I would keep playing that. And yeah, this is the deck. If you want to see more of this deck, like in terms of gameplay and how you would play it, how it outgrinds just random like decks, then let me know in the comment down below. And yeah, I hope that you could just find this video interesting and that you could learn something from this video, because I believe that a deck like this has its merit, and I would not be surprised if someone picks up an idea that is similar to this one and makes a top at YCS or something, because, or like at German National or something, because I believe the deck has like a lot of potential. Maybe you don't have to play Kyrie, maybe you don't have to play all these like bricks, maybe you play another engine, a little bit more consistency. But overall, this engine works, this concept works, and giving Fiendsmiths more and more starters, it's just really, really, really crazy, because it's just hard for them to stop, because Fiendsmith does so much, right? It's not only an engine that presents a great end board, it's an engine that's extremely resilient to hand traps, it's an engine that it's just really, really grindy, that always come back unless you like banish the cards. So using Tract just for you to start Lordly Load, or like in other way, you just go Lordly Load, they go Roar, and they're like, hold up, I know what's coming, and then they Ash the War, and you're just going to extract. You don't care. And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna purge that. Sure, normal summon Lakshma. And now they're thinking, and they're like, wait a second, right? So now you still have full Fiendsmith combo. Like, they didn't stop anything. They wasted 2 hand traps. For what? For nothing. So this deck is extremely resilient to hand traps. So try it out. If you have these cards IRL, go to a local, try it out. Trust me, it's worth it. If you don't have Izuna because they're too expensive or something, don't, like, it doesn't matter. Like, play something else. It doesn't really have to be Izuna. It can be other engine too. It can also be more hand traps. Or Fenrir maybe. Fenrir going really low in price right now. Though you could also play Fenrir here. It's no problem. The only thing with Fenrir is like it clashes with Gamma. But yeah, the word is your oyster with that deck. So please try it and let me know in the comment down below how you liked it. And if you want to see more of these like deck profiles, because I am cooking a lot of like cool decks, I feel like, together with a friend. But we never really take them to tournaments or whatever, because I mean I cannot attend that many tournaments right now because of work. So yeah, if you want to see more of this, just let me know in the comment down below. But yeah, see you on the next video, and bye bye.